It's Racer here, Racer14, and tonight's episode of Project Motor Racing and Project Motor Racing's first DLC of 2026. We are getting Japanese GT500 and a new track, Tayama. I think it's Okayama or something like that in real life. So, of course, they got a lot of branding and different things that they can't do on Project Motor Racing. They don't get all the, unless they get specific approval and licensing, they can't use all the names on stuff. So, tracks like Donington, Silverstone, Mid-Ohio. What's the other one? I think there's one or two more they don't have the licensing for. So we'll just jump into single player and see what's going on in here. So we'll just do race weekend. And so let's take a look at the cars again. It is the two new classes of cars. It is not those. There it is. First is GT500, Japanese domestic market series. And they have basically Class 1 cars and the old GT500 JGTC, Japanese Grand Touring Championship, I guess. And so a few cars, 5 cars in the GT500 Evo cars. We have the Civic. I just gotta go back. It's still locked. Why is it still locked? I gotta go and download it. Hold on, I gotta go in here probably. Download the content, DLC. I gotta buy it. I already own it, so there we go. Gotta back out. Purchased. Okay, so now it should be unlocked. Yeah, there's a notification from Sony, I guess. So let's see if it unlocks them. Go back. Race weekend. And cars. There's that one, and we'll go to the Evos where we were at. So now they're all unlocked. So we can enter the different ones. So again, branding, exact branding is not possible. So these are the stock liveries. I'm sure there's some real liveries available. So here's the NSX 2023. This is one they do have. They do actually have the Calsonic. So, and then the Nissan Z400 or 400Z version. So they got some. You can't. It's just gonna sit there and rotisserie. You can't rotisserie it anymore than what it is. Hello, everyone. Hey, Ian. So, back out. Alright, there's the old school GTR. And it's got the Motul Alltech Motul livery, stock livery. Another livery. So, they all, not bad liveries. But, and now the Supra, the last of them. Boomer, what's going on? So There's just the Supra, which I'm surprised is not in Gran Turismo, but it's not. And again, it all comes down to branding, licensing. They just don't have it. So some of these liveries, well, should look somewhat familiar too. I mean, that's the TR, that's the GR livery, and then that is the I forget what. I remember some of these liveries. They all look kind of cool. I don't want to back out over there. Uh, 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 it is. I'm still not used to the the UI. So that's your Takata DOMs, the dome Takata livery. So there's that. That's the other one. There are two versions of it. That's the one. I think I have that diecast in that livery. So from what I hear, well, it's mixed. It's a mixed bag of different opinions on which class of cars are more enjoyable. Whether it is the older GT500s, the JGTC GT500s, or the Evo versions. So that's another one we don't have. There's a lot of cars that don't have in Gran Turismo, especially race cars. So, oh, all right. All right. And yeah, there's just nine total cars. So it looks like the Pennzoil livery. Yep. Zandy and a Multiple and Nissan are paired together, and then it's the old Supra. Yeah, this has the V8 in it, so we'll try to drive each one of them. We're going to drive them at a track I know, and then I'm going to drive on the new track with. And we also did get the track, obviously, and then we'll drive. So we take a look at the track, which it's all the way at the end, I believe. There, Takayama or Takama, Tamaya, or I think it's Tamaya. So two layouts of that track. Oh, gotta get in it. I got it selected. Then there's two, the short and a long. And I don't know that I've ever driven this track on anything. Maybe I have, but I can't remember. Yeah, Okayama. Yeah, that's just the way it is. Yeah, this is an iRacing track. I think this is only in iRacing. I mean, I know there's some of the motorcycle games I used to play, and they had like Sugo, Motegi. Um, there's about 5 or 6 tracks that they had on the motorcycle racing games, and maybe the earlier Gran Turismos and Forzas. They may have had a few. I mean, Forza was not that big into the Japanese tracks, so I'm gonna try a track I know. Is over with these cars. And Derby Spa, Canadian Rianza. Oh, we'll try them at Monza. Try them at Monza, just because. And go back and check the settings. I don't want any opponents. I just want to drive the cars. And then we're gonna do like 40 minutes. And just go in and change the cars. It's not like Gran Turismo where you can change the cars in the lobby. So, and we'll try the Evos first. What do you want? Want the Evos first or the originals? We'll go with the old ones. All right, race. So, see, I got my thing. I set my wheel to correct whatchamajigs. Now, this is default setup, so who knows what it's going to be like. Um, Old to new. Yeah, okay. Alright, cool. Hope everybody's having a good day. Pretty warm here. It's like in the 80s. Sun, partially, mostly sunny. So, and this is the flyovers of the tracks, which are better. I mean, they're clearer. And we still don't have replay available on consoles for multiplayer races. So. I'll just drive. Yeah, so it's gonna be. I can't drive like this. Yeah, I can't drive on the wrong side of the car. So. Maybe do an AI race in the Porsche Cup car. Didn't feel bad. Feels pretty decent. The tires are in a decent pressure range. This is the first track we just got. That's the first Japanese track in the game. Excuse me. So there's no other Japanese tracks.
Okay, mate. Be careful on the first few laps. You need to warm the brakes and tyres. I'll let you know when you can start to push.
Oh, okay. I don't want to push. The sound is okay. It's not bad. It does sound a little too. The sampling. It really varies. I think if they've got access to decent, if they can sample the cars, and the files are. It sounds a little too artificial. I mean, unlike I said, of course, Gran Turismo. The sound is a little more, feels a little more raw. And maybe they didn't. Like the Porsche Cup sounds pretty good. But the some of the other ones don't sound. Some of the older cars, I think they just probably couldn't get. They probably couldn't record those very well. No, they don't have Suzuka. There's not a Suzuka. There's not a Fuji. There's no.
Safe to start pushing now, mate. Tyres are good. Give it
There's
all
no
you've
Tsukuba.
got.
No Tsukuba. I didn't get a. Oh yeah, their start-finish line is in a different place. I like this. This car feels pretty decent. Unless I push, I'll crash. Try one more lap and then we'll try one of the other cars. A minute 49, which not, I guess not too bad because this is kind of like a GT3 class car. A little bit more aero, I think, than GT3. See, there's some of the exploit with this game. You can save it. It's not typically gonna... I mean, I can crash if I want to. I will find a way. But, it's a little harder to crash than it was before. Easiest way to crash is to touch the dirt. It will really grab the wheel out of your hands. I'm sure the knockoff I'm sure it'll come, but you can mod on PC. You can't really mod on console. I mean, people can add stuff and you can use it. Alright, let's switch cars. No, switch out. Quit. Yes, quit. I'll try one of the other cars. So, yeah. Try the Fair Lady. That's like the same car. I'll go with that one. Yeah. So, actually, let's go back. Back. Yes. I want to see if anybody's got any setups. Nah, maybe. Let's go back. Downloadable content. Packages. Oh, yeah. So you can do like F1 engines and GT4s. You can put like different engines in those liveries. So, and liveries are down. Newer liveries are probably down at the bottom. Maybe not. Yeah. Nobody's got any liveries yet. They take time to do. So, vehicles. Career vehicle setup. Alright. Well, there we go. Yeah, Xbox. One Kenobi. His is usually pretty good. Okay. Yeah, he's got just a few. Yeah. For the Evos, a couple for the Evos. Yeah. And these are all set up for the new track. And you got a couple of their Jesper Peterson and Neil Hillebrand, Nicholas Hillebrand. I think it's guys that have done update those. Yeah. Back, back to single player. Race weekend. Alright, race. Race. So. Skip that. Vehicle setup. See if we get. We'll just try this low downforce. Try. Alright. That should be a V6 engine. And front engine, rear drive. Little heavier steering. Hear that the Evos all feel the same because they basically have the same engine in them. I think they're built off the same chassis, really. Kind of like the all-class ones, like the DTMs, the factory DTMs, and the newer Class 2, Group 2, and Gran Turismo. GT500 cars. They all seem very similar. I need to move my HUD around. Car feels good. Force feedback feels good. Too much downshift. That was all on me. That's pretty realistic. Oh, I have to show you something, Boomer, if you're still here. There's a downloadable content you gotta see. It's a Chally Wally. little bit more of a handful. Well, this doesn't have any, this doesn't have traction control or ABS. Because I'm not on the default setup. .54, so double shifted that one. That was on me. Tiny Code Brown there. With this setup, it's probably a lot more of a handful. One more lap. Tire pressures are a little bit low, I think. .52, so yeah. Let's try with the let's change the setup, go to the default. I should say just go to the default. There's that lockup. Lockup is killing us. Hey, Graham. How you doing, brother? Yeah, you'll enjoy him, man. I think, like, just Boris did them. He did a quick review on them. I mean, he said that he liked the older cars more than the newer cars. He said that. And then Xbox One Kenobi, he said that he liked them all. He preferred the Evos. So let's see if we can get down to where the NSX was. So currently we've only driven the older NSX, the Dome. Yeah, I think the thing is with the Evos, they all sound the same, and they all kind of drive the same, is what I've heard. I'd have to come up with my own opinion. We'll do one more flying lap. Looks like we're going to be close to. Yeah, we'll be close, but we won't be into the. Yeah, 50, 49. No, I haven't tried the track yet. I want to try all of the cars, and then I want to try the Porsche Cup on the new track. Just yep. So just shy 150 flat, which is, yeah, we'll see. Might not be too great. Yes, I'm sure. I'll try another car. So that was the Fairlady Z or Z750. Is that the 50 or the 50? 350 or the 7? 350 or 370? I don't know. So Z33, yeah. Yeah, I think it said 3. I think it's the 350. Alright, we'll try. We'll go with the knockoff Pennzoil livery. Yeah, I think the way that the Evos are built, they are. I'm making an assumption. I think they're all the same chassis. They just put different body kits, almost like NASCAR. And they all have a 2-liter 4-cylinder turbo engine. So very spec, if you think of it like that. So. Default setup, so I think this is going to have the same engine as the Fairlady did. So kind of feels the same, actually. I think it's got a decal issue on the hood. I think it's weird that the Honda is a Civic. The Civic Type R is their is the Evo 500. This car feels a little more bouncy than the Fairlady. Yeah, the number board on the hood is chopped off. Do you think we should stay on this track when we do the Evos or switch tracks? I think we should probably try at least one Evo. On this track just to see what the speed difference is. Alright, thanks, man. Have a good one, Graham. That was faster than That's the default setup. Hello, viewers. Just trying out the new Project Motor Racing DLC. It's the first DLC of the year. It's only like the third DLC, I think. But the other DLCs came out with the year one pack. So this is the first official, unrelated launch DLC. Let's see where we are. So we're equal to the NSX this time. This feels a lot better than the Fair Lady. Lost a lot of time through there. That's good. New benchmark best at a 48. Was it a 48? 48.2. So pretty cool. All right, so let's go one last car in the oldest class. So yeah, the R34 was a pretty nice car. I like that. So. Yeah, the Fair Lady was a slightly 1 year newer car, but not nearly as enjoyable as the older R34 Skyline. So, I don't go there. So last one to try is the Supra. So that looks like the yellow hat. And then, so. Try the give this a shot. Now it's a big V8 engine. We'll see what it sounds like. Default. Oh, loud. That's loud. That's a loud car. If anybody's asking, this is a Supra. Oh, that's loud. I don't think this is turbocharged. Hey, Luke. Yeah, this feels old school. It's really loud. Yeah, I think the bias in the front is really noticeable because of that big old engine. That might be moved back a little bit more than, but it still feels trying to hold off a sneeze there. It feels faster. I don't know if it is faster, if it's just the noise. I don't really feel like I have control of this car. Yep, starting out where they all started out, 150. Track limits. Track limits, track limits. Yeah, it's feeling way off. It feels fast, but it's just better lap, but it was invalid, so. Yeah, still like that R34 Skyline. Yeah, we're gonna take that. Yeah, we're just a little too something, a little too early to understeer on there. Got one more flying lap with this one. Yeah, 148 and change, but I don't know, invalidated it. Hello, viewers. Just trying out the new DLC for Project Motor Racing, Japanese GT500 pack. Another invalid Duggar. That probably would be invalid too. That was a lot of cut there on that final part of Ascari. These default setups do have traction control and anti-lock brakes, so yeah. Wow, we got a lot of. So yeah, that was 48. So we can get a better lap with this car. We just it's a little more understeery than the R34. So all right, so now we shall try the Evos. All right, we're gonna try one Evo. Which one? We'll try this. The well, we'll try something we kind of know, which would maybe be the NSX, because we are kind of used to this car somewhat in the Gran Turismo. It's not the exact car. I think this is even more of an evolution than the one we have, which I think is a 2018. I think 2016. So, but we might have some idea about it. So, again, this will be an engine and with the 4-cylinder turbo. A lot of aero, so this should be considerably quicker. I mean, it should be like LMDH, they say, kind of close to speed. So I think we're probably looking at like minute 40s maybe. But we'll see, because I don't know. So real raspy for a four-cylinder, but yeah, this looks a lot like the Gran Turismo. Probably don't want to do a lot of curbing because the aero break the suck. Ugh. Invalidated. Getting too used to drifting out there on the track limits. Very un-Gran Turismo-y. You can actually run wide there. Gran Turismo, you can't do that. You run wide there, you're done. You're spin out. Yeah, I think I'm not taking advantage of the aero. We're at 142, 140.2. Tire pressures on the back will come up. 27. Hello, viewers. So 138, so quite a bit faster. That lost a bit of time there. Alrighty. Minute 38 flat. Yeah, minute 38 flat. That's pretty it's pretty quick. I mean, I don't know how quick it is versus other games, because obviously GT500s don't race here in real life. So let's try a different track with the rest of these Evos. We could try Spa. Nah, Spa's a long track. Let's something short. Yeah, let's try we can try Mid Ohio. Let's try Mid Ohio without the chicane. So this will be a different track. Let's try a different car. We'll try the Civic. So yeah, this is essentially the the Civic you see gajillions of. It's a front-wheel drive car. The Civic Type R isn't all-wheel drive, is it? It's a rear wheel. So it's not. It's front. All Civics are front-wheel drive. I don't think there's any all-wheel drive Civics. So that's kind of weird. If you want to, so it's interesting that this is like the premier car. So hold on a second. All right. So, all right, back. So yeah, is this the premier car for Honda? But I guess they don't really have anything else. Because I mean, globally, it's just Honda. We only have Acura here in America, and I guess this is their. I don't know what else they would have aside from the NSX, which they kind of discontinued, I think. So, all right, let's try it at. Let's try it at Lexington. See how it goes. So this is also known as Mid-Ohio in America. So this will be kind of a learning experience too, because I've driven this track a lot. So still going backwards. So I'm not fully on the brakes, I guess. That's steering wheel's on the correct side. It's on the American side. I haven't driven this track in a long time. The last time I drove this track was in an MX-5 Cup. You gotta kind of trust the arrow. Oh! Whoa! Whoa! Where did we end up? Wow. We have to replay that. I have to see that. That was pretty crazy. That was nuts. Yeah, I think I might need to brake there. Yeah, it was a little ambitious. Trust the arrow, and then forget that the arrow exists. Uh-oh, here it goes. It's gonna get crazy. Whoa. Well, and then we teleported. Yes. Let's restart. What's that ticker? The ticker? Oh, that was me speeding forward. If you heard that noise. All right, let's just slowly build up here. Did it again. Gotta warm these brakes up. Like a blind mouse.
Remember, you need to get the tyres and brakes up to temperature before you can start to push. I'll tell you when.
Okay. Oh, okay.
What would be a good time in Mid-Ohio? I guess this probably be about as fast as an LMP2 or definitely faster than LMP3. So one thing this game doesn't have, which is kind of surprising, they don't have P2s or P3s in them. $118. This actually sounds pretty nice. Kind of sounds like what you would think a high performance 4-cylinder. Not all fart canny. Still not trusting the aero, but it's not an F1 car or a... All right, that was 116.1. So quit out, yes, quit out. So 116.1 in the Honda. So let's try. We tried the NSX. Oh, we got 5 cars here. That's right. Try the Supra. Let's go Supra. I think that's the key pair livery that they usually use. All right. I'm expecting it to sound the same, and it's a little more raspy. It's a little more raspy. Oh, that sounds nice. Can hear the gears. Now Boomer needs to get into a P2 and find out how fast he can go around Mid-Ohio.
Okay, mate, you can push now. Tyres and brakes are up to temps.
I like the way this sounds. Sounds pretty nice. It would be cool if they were to bring the GT500s to America for like a exhibition, or have them run at Watkins Glen or something. I think they, Dirk, they did like a crossover thing where the DTM went to Japan and the Japan went to DTM, or maybe they raced each other. And the DTM was faster. It's a 17 flat, so missed that completely. I think they would be close. I mean, just because of the aero. Although I think P2s run a turbocharged V6, so Toyota V6, I think. Or P3s, that is. P2s run a V8, I think, yeah. This is pretty fun. On 14. It's the other one, 14 flat, I think. think that was pretty close. Yeah, I think the P3s, the P2s are maybe just a little too much. I mean, it's a lot more power, I think, and probably similar aero. These are really aeroed up. They have lots of little fins and stuff on them. So that felt pretty good. That was a pretty fun little car. Let's try. Try that Nissan. Anything looks different. So I think we're going to be pretty much the same in all these cars. We'll probably just do this one and jump over to the new track. Maybe do an AI race at the new track. See how that goes. So, drive. Yeah, it's almost sounds the same. What are you saying? TCR's just got a big update. Oh, that's good. Wow. Well, that's good. I mean, they are very close. The TCRs in certain circumstances are faster than in GT4s. Um, I think they're supposed to be a little bit better on tire wear. Maybe it's just because they only really wear the front tires. But yeah. Yeah, that TCR they added to Gran Turismo is pretty good, but again, this is all, you deal in iRacing, you deal in like real proper simulator. This is actually pretty good. It feels a lot better than it did on day one. They're making pretty good progress. I mean, obviously they're going to lack on some things like, the graphics. PC can run a lot more people because they get more capability with the power of a PC versus a console. We can still only have Gran Turismo levels of lobby sizes of like 16 cars. But I mean, I was in a 30 car race in the other one in the Porsche Cup that I broadcast a couple last week, which was pretty fun. So. What did I do at Monza? I did a minute 37, was it? I'm sure we could compare that to a P3. PMR's okay. I mean, it should be pretty cheap right now. They did lower the price. I think on Steam it's 30% off. I don't know if that's the same price, same discounts on PlayStation. Not that it matters, but I think everybody that got the year one bundle should get a
a discount on year 2. But by then I'll probably be on LMU if it's on console. If it still will work on a PlayStation 5, I still dream of the PC possibility, but I need to get a freaking PC because that new wheel that I built really kind of useless on console. It still feels great, but I don't have the ability to map all the buttons and use all of the encoders and the I wish this had Sonoma. That would be a real lot of fun. GT World Challenge America was at Sonoma this weekend. See, Key tried LMP. He was in LMP3s, I think, on LMU. They're just trying to drive me car. Chat. What was that? Is he taking the piss? Yeah, Forza Motorsport had Sonoma. I mean, I think Project Motor Racing is planning on having a long life cycle. So, all right. Well, we got to the 15s with this car. So, all right, Boomer, enjoy your dinner. Yeah, Sonoma. I mean, this is a pretty, it's very European, very American biased game. So I would think and hope that they would get a few more American tracks. There's a lot of really good ones. There's still tons of European tracks that are great still out there. Yeah, I mean, Japan has probably 3 or 4 really good tracks. I don't think a lot of people want Suzuka and Fuji again. I'd rather have Motegi and maybe Sugo. It would be 2 cool ones. Tsukuba is pretty small. Doesn't really work with the faster classes, I don't think. Some of the spec series would probably be fine. But I would love to get Sonoma, VIR, Road America, Road Atlanta, yeah, still, hey, you've got Long Beach would be a nice one. Um, uh, um, yeah, so, I mean, you could, I don't know, you could do the Roval. It would be okay, but I don't think you really want that. Uh, but yeah, VIR Barber would be a nice one. I mean, they raced Indy. I think IndyCar was at there this weekend too. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff. So, all right, yeah, we're going to. Hold on.
Okay, mate, you can push now. Tyres and brakes are up to temps. Impressive stuff, mate. That's the fastest lap of anyone. Five minutes left in the session. Session over. Checkered flag this lap. Remember, you need to get the tyres and brakes up to temperature before you can start to push. I'll tell you when. Checkered flag out. Session is done. Not the result we were looking for. Let's see what we can do in the race though. Focus on the lights. Car on your left. New fastest lap. Great job. You've taken a chunk out of the splitter. Not serious though. Keep on it. That's the fastest lap overall. Keep pushing. The race director has given you a penalty for track limits, mate. Limits are on. Look for the box. Let's get going. We're looking for a grey outlap. Send it. Nice work, that's the fastest lap. Keep sending it. Unlucky. Car was too slow today. We need to find more speed for the next race.
Oh, well, I hope anybody can hear me. That was a lot of fun. I got a penalty for some reason, I don't know what for, but it penalized me all the way to the bottom. But that was a lot of fun. The AI at I think 85, I had them set up for 85, seemed to be just about the same pace, maybe a tiny bit slower. But otherwise, it was a lot of fun. Track is a lot of fun once you get into a groove with it. So I did get into to top qualifying times into the 130s, so that was good during the race. Probably had way too much fuel on board during the race, but we'll keep going with the excuses. Good stuff. Good race. Good cars. I like all of them actually. I wouldn't say. I'd probably like that R34 GT500 more the most. Although the new ones, the Evo ones, are a lot of fun. Yeah. So hopefully the game will just get better. This felt really good just with the default setup against the AI on the same setup. It was a lot of fun. That really felt like a real cup race. Everybody was pretty. I mean, they were even. Everybody was legitimately the same pace. So yeah, hopefully going forward it'll be a lot more fun. But yeah. So yeah. Yes. Yes. I'm sure. Finish weekend. Yes. So thanks for everybody for watching. I'm gonna go get some dinner and spend time with the relatives we have up for the holidays. Or at least they're celebrating Easter. They're up here for the weekend, I think. Just have a nephew and his family are up here, so I'm gonna go play some cornhole and socialize. So, and thanks everybody for watching. If you got Project Motor Racing, enjoy the new content. If you did get the year one DLC or year one pass, this is good DLC. It's only a track and 9 cars, but the cars are pretty solid. And I think we got another DLC coming in the next 6 months. I think there's another one coming. But yeah, I don't really have anything else. Yeah, that's all I got. So again, thanks everybody for watching, and everyone have a great evening. Yep. Bye.